All right, welcome back, everybody, to another Recliner Sports Pick Show. I'm Nick.
I'm Brandon.
All right, hey, big playoff weekend here. Seeing who's going to be in those conference championships. Big games last week. Big Browns upset with all the adversity there. I know I was surprised. I had a big spiel about how I thought they could win before all the COVID stuff, and they still pulled it through. Other than that, I think everything else was kind of expected. I think we both expected the Ravens there to win.
Yep,
Um, the Rams was actually surprising too.
that surprised me.
I think they got lucky that the backup got hurt and Golf got to come back in. What did you think about last week, Brandon?
I personally was shocked how poorly the Seahawks played. They won 12 games. Everyone forgets 12 games. For a team to win 12 games and play so poorly the last 6 weeks,
Yeah.
it's interesting. I can't believe they didn't lose more games, to be honest. I knew the Bills game was going to be close. People need to respect the Colts. They did cover. The Colts covered. The Ravens, they're a good team. I can't remember if I picked the Titans or Ravens. I think I did pick the Ravens, but the Ravens, they look good. Lamar looks good. Everyone, talks crap about Lamar. Oh, he's not running as much this year. He had 1,000 yards rushing.
Yeah, still pretty good, right? That's
his benchmark is 1,000 yards rushing for poor. Then shoot, I'd love to have him. I mean, I think he's really underrated this year because his accuracy isn't. It's not Patrick Mahomes. It's not Aaron Rodgers. It's not Tom Brady. No, but the fact that he's just a dual threat every single time. I mean, you saw that touchdown run. It was like a 50-yard touch. I mean, come on. He's top 5 athletic guys in the one of the top 5 most athletic guys in the NFL.
Yeah, when you win MVP at 23, I think the expectation is a little unrealistic.
I think
people.
Totally agree. People need to pump the brakes on the Lamar Jackson bashing. Seriously.
He's going to fall into the same thing here. If he has an average quarterback year here in the next couple of years, people will bash him where a lot of teams would love to have an average quarterback. If your worst year is being an average quarterback in the NFL, that's pretty good.
Very good.
So
very, very good.
All right, well, we'll just hop into things here. So not many games this week, so we are going to add back those locks of the weekend, whether it's football, basketball, all of that stuff, okay? So first up, Rams at Packers. Who you got, Brandon?
I have the Green Bay Packers. My thing about the Pac-12, my thing about the NFC and AFC West, I just do not like West Coast football, and the Rams are one of them. Yes, they have Jalen Ramsey. Yes, they have Aaron Donald. Yes, they have Troy Reader. But their defense it's not as good as the statistics show.
Yeah,
I think they're like
last week.
What?
Aaron Donald got injured last week too.
Well, he'll be back. I guarantee that. I think statistically they're like a top 10 fringe top 10 defense. And Aaron Rodgers is all I have to say. Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, just I don't know. The Packers seem to always win these games. And remember, it's in Green Bay. Los Angeles is, 75 this time of year. So I don't trust Cam Akers to run the ball. I know he's had really good games, and the Packers, believe it or not, don't have the best rush defense. That's actually their Achilles heel, if I have to say, because Dalvin Cook, remember that game, he had 50 fantasy points. He ran for like 200 yards against them. So if I'm the Rams, I'm running the ball early, but I don't see it. I have the Packers, and I have the Packers pretty handily, actually.
Yeah, and I think the Packers also win. Obviously, they were my NFC pick and Super Bowl pick here in the show last week. If you compare this Rams defense with the offense they had when they went to the Super Bowl, you could have a pretty dangerous team. Unfortunately,
right.
You can say that about a lot of situations. It's not happening. Rams want to run the ball, control the ball, play good defense, but when you have such a great offensive weapon in Aaron Rodgers, he's going to put up points. It's inevitable. So if you cannot score with them, then you're in trouble. The Green Bay Packers just have to play average defense in this game, and they win the game. And I think they win the game by more than touchdown
Yeah,
as
me
well.
too.
So I'm going to go Packers just because let a veteran quarterback get some rest and let them ball out in the playoffs. I think LaFleur gets bashed a lot for going back to back 13-3. So I think the Packers kind of have their eye on the prize here. So I'm going to go Packers.
I agree. I think the Packers they're my Super Bowl pick for the NFC.
Yeah.
And I'll stay with that.
All right. Next, Ravens at the Bills. Brandon, who you got?
You know, you're gonna be shocked because I know you're a big Bills guy, but I think the Ravens win. I think they're rolling, man. There's just something about this Ravens team, you know, like they went through that like tough 5-game stretch, but most teams that win the Super Bowl have you know, a tough stretch throughout the year. Obviously last year the Chiefs didn't, but you know, it happens. Teams lose in the NFL. It doesn't mean you're not a good team. It doesn't mean you're not capable of winning the Super Bowl. I like Lamar Jackson. I like J.K. Dobbins a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know you do too, Ohio State, but I like Gus Edwards. I like Patrick Ricard, who was like their third leading receiver last week. Have you ever seen a 312-pound fullback
Yeah, I think he was
who can catch the ball?
Lineman. So there you go.
I know he was a D lineman, but he's athletic for 312 pounds. He's your lead blocker when you're running with J.K. Dobbins with that offensive line. And that O-line's played this well without Ronnie Stanley, who honestly, top 3 tackle in the league. Shout out Notre Dame. The Ravens offense is killer. I like their defense too. I just think the Bills have been too hot for too long, and I think they're going to lose a game here.
And again, I said the Bills could make the Super Bowl for this exact reason. I think they've had one of the tougher draws here, especially the playoffs. I think the Colts were kind of a team people didn't want to play along with the Ravens. And guess what? Bills don't have to play the Ravens. So, listen, I loved what Lamar did last week. I thought that's what Lamar was going to do. He took some stuff personal, especially when the secondary was talking smack to him there in that red zone the one time they kicked the field goal. Next drive, he has that huge run where he pretty much puts the team on his back.
Yeah.
Lamar's playing Lamar ball here.
Yeah. LeVar
ball. And it's kind of that Kobe, right? That Mamba mentality. But I like the Bills still. I can't go off my team that I said is going to win the Super Bowl, right? I have to pick the Bills.
You have to stick with it.
Josh Allen. You see that first touchdown he had the other day?
I mean, honestly, Josh Allen would be, I think, as of right now, for the AFC, I'd actually have him over Pat Mahomes as my MVP. I'd still have I think Aaron Rodgers wins it. I will change my opinion, I think.
But here's the thing. If the Ravens had more offensive weapons, because listen, I love Dobbins, but Dobbins does well because of what Lamar does. Same with Gus Edwards. Same with all those guys. If they had some better receiver threat, all right, Brown's been doing well. Obviously, Andrews is a big red zone target, but if they had that dude, right, one of those receivers, like a Diggs, I'd say no doubt Ravens. But I think that's what hurts Lamar's passing a little bit when you're throwing to Willie Snead, Brown, 5'9". So obviously 5'9" guys have had success, or shorter guys, very fast guys. Still, if that's your number one target, come on, man. Even look, people got on the dude from Alabama, Devontae, there for being small. He's 6 foot. You know what I mean? He towers over Brown. So again, that's what I'm saying. He's a small dude to be your number one. I'm going to ride out the Bills. There's supposed to be snow in Buffalo, and I think that plays to the Bills' advantage because guess what? Josh Allen's still throwing the ball 70 yards in the snow. And I think Josh Allen is the third best running quarterback in the league.
I agree.
It goes Lamar, Kyler, Josh Allen.
No, I agree. I agree with that. Daniel Jones might be 4.
So if you're talking about speed, possibly. But I think Tannehill's up there as well, obviously, out of the playoffs last week.
Watson, too.
I'm going to say Bills over the Ravens, but a great game.
Yeah.
If I had money on this game, or I would not put money on this game.
No.
Let me just sit back and enjoy this, not worry about a bet.
I think this is the best game of the week.
I think it could be. I think there's a game we're going to talk about soon here that could be as well. All right,
Really?
Browns at the Chiefs. Who you got?
Well, I mean, I'm going Chiefs, and I always will go Chiefs. Always. With Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, I will not bet against the Kansas City Chiefs because they have shown time and time again they don't lose a whole lot. They lost one time this year, and their defense was the reason they lost that game, not the offense. And the defense has been playing a lot better. I do not see Baker Mayfield beating Patrick Mahomes. I don't see it.
It's happening.
Vegas doesn't see it. I think Cleveland's 10.5 point underdog.
Yeah, I saw
They're
10, but yes, 10.5 right there.
they are a 10.5 point underdog. There's no shot the Browns win.
All right. Well, I think this game. So here's the thing: Andy Reid, he has like a crazy record off buys. I don't know if it's exactly undefeated, but I'm gonna say it might be one loss. Very good at
Really?
buys, yeah. Uh,
Holy crap.
so again, uh, listen, the Chiefs are gonna win, right? That's what I say. But there's something about this Browns team, right? They're not supposed to win. They weren't supposed to win last week. They got it done. They're not supposed to win this week. And when you have that mantra, right, with good players, it's not like they have bum
No,
players.
they have a good team.
Listen,
They have a good team.
Baker Mayfield, number one overall pick. Now, has he lived up to that? I think there's still time to tell, right? He's still, what, 26? So, again, Brady's 42. Listen, in the playoffs, and Bree's 40. So, there's plenty of career left. He's done something that no other quarterback's done in the past, 18 years, whatever it's been. So, Nick Chubb, I think, could be the game changer here. All right. Running that rock. Can they just run that rock? And what do they do just as good as anybody in the league? Play action. So again, if they start running the ball effective, I think the Browns could really have a shot. But I do think the Chiefs win. 10.5 spread. I wouldn't be against putting money on the Browns to cover.
You know what? I agree. I do agree with that.
Now, again, I'm not saying that that's a lock, but I'm saying I would not be surprised if the Browns play tough only because of how good their running game is. They can control the ball. So I'm going to go Chiefs, but don't count the Browns out. I wouldn't say a blowout. All right.
I totally agree.
Yeah. All right. Bucks at Saints, last game of the weekend. Who you got, Brandon?
You're going to love this pick. I actually have Tampa Bay winning. And New Orleans hasn't looked the greatest lately. Their defense hasn't been the best. I don't know. I just think this is a team of destiny for the Buccaneers. And by destiny, I mean the NFC Championship game where they lose to Green Bay. But that's pretty damn good. I don't care what anyone says. Oh, Tom Brady, Super Bowl or bust. If you're one of the final four teams, you should be happy. Excuse me. I don't know. The Saints, they are a weird team. And every time I watch them, I'm like, you know what? They're really not that good. Their record shows, yeah, they're a pretty good team. But I don't know. I just think Drew Brees has lost a step. And I think Kamara, if you don't use him properly, he isn't that effective. He's effective when you're winning in games, if that makes sense. There are players that are very effective, Kamara being one of them, when you're winning. But when you're losing, he's not the type of guy you just hand the ball to or you dump it off to, because teams are going to be when the Saints are losing. If I'm the opposing defense, I'm going to be like, I'm keying in on Kamara. He's their one playmaker. I don't trust New Orleans's Michael Thomas slant god, as you call him. It's kind of predictable what he's going to do.
Yeah.
It really is. When have you seen Michael Thomas go deep on a post route? Because I sure as hell hadn't.
Well, I think it also is because Drew Brees can't throw it that far.
That's what I mean. So if the Saints get down, that's when you like, okay, this is predictable. Tampa Bay's got a good rush defense. In fact, they're the number one best rush defense. You stop the run and you just hound the underneath pass to Thomas and Kamara, and I think you win the game.
Yeah, so I'm going to go Bucks here too. And actually, Washington, really good rush defense, still got ran on last week. So that's why I say, listen, the Bucks don't need to run the ball to win. They go pass to the run. There's a couple times they're driving down the field, and all of a sudden they hurry up, go under center, hand it off to Fournette, 10-yard run. You know what I mean? So I think the Saints force Hill way too much. I don't think
They
he's as
do.
good as people think. Like the mantra or whatever he had behind him is gone. Listen, the fact that they haven't played Jameis must be playing horrible. I know Peyton has this crazy thing for Hill. They try to use him so much. Why? Now, the thing that saved the Saints is how good their defense is. Now, if they get behind, like you were saying, can Breeze dice up the Bucks defense? It's going to have to be with 30 and in, and that's what scares me. There's no taking the top off the defense unless Taysom Hill's throwing it, or if they somehow get Jameis in there, which won't happen. So that's what I think hurts the Saints. Believe it or not, Drew Brees helps the Saints out a lot, and he hurts them a lot. Buccaneers, like you said, I think they're just rolling here. Washington played a great game against them and still lost. It was never Washington's game. You know what I mean? I just think they took care of business last week, and I think it's going to be the same thing. It's not going to be flashy. They're not going to do crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, the Bucks are just going to get the job done. Tom Brady, what's new, right?
Yeah.
So again, I think the Bucks go in there and get it done at the Saints.
Yeah, I agree.
And Mike Evans, who was coming off that injury, looked pretty good when he got in there a couple plays. And Godwin dropped a lot, which was surprising.
Okay.
So imagine if he catches some of those. I really think Buccaneers get it done.
I'm glad you brought that up. Chris Godwin usually has the most sure hands in the NFL, or up top 5 in there. What happened last game? He dropped at least 3 that I know of, that I saw. I'm like, okay, he's dropping a lot of balls here.
I actually think, how people say you get nervous, right? I almost think he was trying too hard to make plays, if that makes sense. He's so busy trying to catch and turn up field and make a play that I think that could be it. And
also, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say first playoff game. I know it's a lot of guys' first playoff game, but I think that also obviously has something to do for a 25-year-old there. So
yeah, I mean, there's no crowd, but the thing is, this would be a cool game for Godwin because we all know he is from Delaware and he's born in Philadelphia, but DC, that's the third closest stadium to our home, which is crazy. It's under 2 hours. We're talking, we have 2 NFL stadiums closer to our house than that. But Landover is not that far. Like his entire family. In fact, the whole Middletown area could have been at this game had it been played, which kind of stinks. But Chase Young, his whole family would be at every game. I mean, isn't he from literally 5 minutes away?
Pretty sure
he's from Upper Marlboro, I think.
Maybe not DeMatha, but yeah, it might have been DeMatha. I can't remember. I'll have to fact check that.
I mean, DeMatha is top tier program.
Yeah, I know that's where what's the name went. So Chase Young High School.
I think Jerry and Grant from Notre Dame basketball. He definitely went to DeMatha. I don't know if Jeremy and Grant went to.
Haskins and all that too.
Yeah.
They've had a lot of pro athletes.
I'm shocked Kevin Durant didn't go there. He went to Oak Hill, I think.
Yeah. Hey, good. All right. So next, our locks. So pretty much, hey, here's your weekend parlay, everybody. 3 different teams. Brandon, who are your locks?
All right. So we kind of talked about this game. I think Packers -6.5. I think that's easy money right there. I'm taking that 99.9% of the time. I really don't see I don't know why Vegas thinks this game's going to be closer. A 13-3 team who's rolling versus a Rams, 10-win team who kind of has a backup quarterback. Is Jared Goff a backup quarterback now? He didn't even start last game. Yeah. So, what the heck is up with that? But I think the Packers roll. They don't even give them a touchdown.
There you go. All right.
Do you want me to say it? Sorry.
Give me your other 2.
Okay. I'm going to get away from the NFL. I know we've been talking about the NFL. Not even a hockey guy, but guess what? I'm going Flyers money line. They don't have the spreads out yet for Saturday's game versus the Penguins. You know what? I'm rolling with it. They won 6-3 last game. Bob Brown, I'm trusting the Flyers. I own a hoodie just like Nick. I'm going to be an honorary Flyers fan. I probably should watch more hockey. I actually, you know what? That's going to be I didn't give a New Year's resolution. That's going to be it. I'm going to watch more hockey because it seems like a fun time. Like when I see it in person, I know last show we talked about, the UD hockey games and how fun those were. They're fun in person. I want to say they're it might be my favorite sport to watch in person, but yeah, I don't watch it on TV a lot. But yeah, Flyers. And then my third lock, I don't even care what the spread is because they haven't come out with it yet. Gonzaga plays St. Mary's Saturday, right? This is crazy. I don't remember a team being as dominant as Gonzaga in college basketball in the past 10, 15 years. Let me read something off for you. They average 96 points per game. We are halfway through the season. It is January 14th. The college basketball season starts in November. They average 96 points. Last game, they put up 114 points. When have you seen that happen? This isn't the NBA where you play 48 minutes. College basketball is 40 minutes. To put 116 points up in college basketball, I don't care if you're playing, I don't know, my intramural basketball team. That's tough to do.
All right, so there's Brandon's locks there. I am also going to take the Packers at 6.5 favorites. Like you said, I think they at least won by 7, right? I mean, it's got to be. I think the Packers are too good for the Rams. And they're even talking about Jared Goff's trying to throw the glove now. He doesn't usually throw the glove because of him.
In cold weather, no way.
No. Then I am going to go Buccaneers +3. If I'm going to say they're going to win. They're going to win by more than a field goal, I think. Yeah. So I'm going to say Buccaneers as 3 dogs. Come on, I'm taking that. Tom Brady, go get me some money. And then Baylor over Texas Tech in basketball. College basketball. Texas Tech, big win against
over Texas. And Mac McClung.
Guess what happens when those type of teams have that big upset win? Always bet against them the following.
You're right. You're totally right.
The easier Texas Tech. Now you play the best team in Texas, Baylor. You're going to get smoked. Baylor gets it done over Texas Tech. So I'm going Packers, Baylor, and Buccaneers all to cover.
That's a great Baylor pick. You're totally right. Mac McClung, emotional win over Texas. They shouldn't have won that game, but they did. Texas ranked 4th. Crazy to see. Texas Tech ranked 15th. Texas 4th. Baylor 2nd.
Yeah, that's tough
schedule. They did Texas.
Texas Tech, too. It's not like they're a bad team. And
no,
a team like Texas, you kind of don't mind that loss. I feel like you lost to a top 25 team. Like you said, Texas Tech played out of their mind and had hit a last-second shot to win. So nothing crazy there. All right, well, that's it for our pick show. Remember, make sure you tune into episode 8 of Recliner Sports Talk. My name's Nick.
I'm Brandon.
See you guys next week. Have a good one.